A very warm welcome in the class of differentiability for the functions of several variables. Myself Rupak Bhattacharjee, Assistant Professor, Department of Mathematics, GIS College of Engineering. The prerequisites for this particular topic is first the concept of function of several variables. The next one is the concept of limit and the concept of continuity. But we do have in addition the concepts of function of single variable, the limit of the function of single variable, the continuity of the function of single variable, and the differentiability of the function of single variable. Because as according to the last classes, you have experienced that our technique to represent this whole module, the whole topic related to function of several variables are in accordance with the comparative study of function of single variable. Basically, we are actually requiring the idea of function of single variable, what you have already within your mind from your 11-12 classes, and we are just upgrading the concept from that single variable to several variables. So consequently, the related terms of limit, continuity, differentiability, all these are actually enhanced from single variable to several variables. So differentiability will also be expressed in the similar manner. So let us proceed for the topic. We are starting by a theorem. We will need it as a property obviously, but this is the increment for functions of two variables. What is the meaning of that? The meaning is we are having the first partial derivative of fxy are defined throughout an open region R containing the point x0 y0, and that fx and fy are continuous at x0 y0. It is our assumption. If so, then the change of whom z, okay, we are denoting it by del z, will be measured as the functional value at x0 plus del x comma y0 plus del y, and the functional value at x0 y0. So del x is the increment of x0, del y is the increment of y0. So x0 y0 is a point, x and y, x0 and y0 are incremented from x0 y0 to x0 plus del x comma y0 plus del y. We are also taking the functional value at that point and we are subtracting them. This difference of these two functional values are denoted by the change del z. So it is in the values of f that results from moving from x0 y0 to another point x0 plus del x plus y0 comma y0 plus del y in R, and it satisfies the equation of the form del z is equal to fx means partial derivative of x at x0 y0 into del x plus fy x0 y0 into del y plus most importantly epsilon 1 del x plus epsilon 2 del y, where epsilon 1 epsilon 2 tends to 0 as both del x and del y tends to 0, means the increment in x and y if tends to 0 then the coefficients of del x and del y here by epsilon 1 and epsilon 2 will be also tending to 0. Now, after having this idea of increment theorem, we are defining the differentiability of the function of several variables, and it is stated in this manner that a function z fxy is differentiable at x0 y0 if partial derivative of f with respect to x and partial derivative of f with respect to y exists, and del z satisfies an equation of the form this one, what is already stated, that is fx x0 y0 del x plus fy x0 y0 del y plus epsilon 1 del x plus epsilon 2 del y. Obviously here also epsilon 1 and epsilon 2 will satisfy the required condition that they are tending to 0 as both del x del y tends to 0. We will call the function f differentiable if it is differentiable at every point in the domain, and say that its graph is a smooth surface. That means the surface generated by the pictorial representation of it will be a smooth one. So let us go for some next steps. And what we see as the corollary of the theorem 3 means increment theorem is that if the partial, basically we will need it, if the partial derivative fx and fy of a function fxy are continuous throughout an open region R, then automatically f is differentiable at every point of R. And the next theorem tells us that differentiability implies continuity. It is true for also function of single variable, but here you are going to get various important and variational examples. But first of all, we first concentrate on the statement if a function fxy is differentiable at x0 y0, then f is continuous at x0 y0. Okay. Now we are approaching the function of several variables in another manner. Differentiability, for that we are assuming z is a function of x and y in the domain D, and we say f is differentiable if there is a new term, linearization LAB of xy is equal to FAB plus capital A into x minus a plus capital B into y minus b. Think about one fact. If x is equal to a and y is equal to b, what you get as LAB xy is equal to FAB means it is exactly same as the function fx. But what is stated here, this is nothing but linear approximation fxy is nearly equal to L of AB xy for xy near AB. Okay, but as it is not exact, it is near, we are denoting the error for this term, and it is ED is equal to f of x comma y minus L of AB x comma y, their difference. This approaches 0 faster than does the distance of xy and AB, means the xy and AB, their distance and functional value of xy and the linearization of xy at AB, their difference approaches to 0 faster than the other. That is limit xy tends to a comma b. This linguistic statement is mathematically expressed by this, that this difference divided by the difference of these 2 points will be equal to 0. So if you see this diagram, this is the surface, curved surface you can see, and this is the linearization LAB, okay? And our point of concern is this one. So when we are checking the ED, that means look at this, this is the difference or the error of this at a particular point. But when this point is approaching to AB, then this function and this linearization will be almost same, and if it is on AB, it will be exactly same. So this is the concept of linearization and how it will be used for this differentiability. You will see. Before that, you please consider the graphs of the functions. There are four functions. Z is equal to xy square, z is equal to y into e to the power x, z is equal to sin x into cos y, and z is equal to x square y by x square plus y square. Now the question is, which of these functions do we think are differentiable at 0, 0 without doing any problem calculation? Look at this. This gives us a very important clue that the solution tells us the first three functions seem to be differentiable at 0, 0 as their graphs seem to be smooth there and can be approximated by a tangent plane. As it is smooth, we will get a single tangent plane. But the last function does not seem to be differentiable at 0, 0 because at 0, 0 it is not smooth, rather than we are seeing that it is having some sharp folding. That is, there is a folding and the folding is very sharp. That is a little like the situation with mod x for the function of single variable. I will show you now here. There does not seem to be tangent plane that would approximate the graph width. So please compare it with the function like this. If you have a function which is like this, at this point it is smooth, and if you have a function like this, and so this is your tangent plane, tangent line, and if you have something like this, at this point, how you can draw a tangent? You need tangent. So you are getting a very sharpness at this point. You are getting smoothness over here. So that is why in the case of function of single variable, you are getting that at this point it is differentiable. But for the same case, function of single variable, if there is a sharp edge at this point, so at this point specified here, you will not be able to get the differentiability of that function. So now proceeding further, what we get, if we have to prove that the function fxy is equal to x square plus 3y is differentiable at 2, 1 by showing that the linear function L21 xy is equal to 7 plus 4 into x minus 2, 3 into y minus 1. You can see why it is x minus 2, why it is y minus 1. It was from the definition. But you are already provided by this problem that 7 plus 4 into x minus 2, 3 into y minus 1. So from where we are getting basically this 4 and 3 coefficients. So if you follow, if you put 2 in the fxy in x square part, you will get 4. And if you put 1 in the 3y part, then you will get 3. So at 2, 1, the functional value will be 7. And we have to show it by this process, linearization process. So what we see that by a direct calculation we will get it fxy minus L21xy, the modulus of these two is nothing but x minus 2 whole square, and since mod of x minus 2 is equal to root over x minus 2 whole square, we are getting x minus 2 whole square can be written as less than x minus 2 whole square plus y minus 1 whole square by the same logic that a single square quantity is less than equal to the summation of more than one square quantity containing one of them as the previous one. But root over x minus 2 whole square plus y minus 1 whole square is nothing but the distance of x, y and 2. So this part what we get as x minus 2 whole square by d of x minus 1, x minus y 2 comma 1. Now by simplifying we will get that mod of x minus 2 into mod of x minus 2 divided by this one, and it is less than 1 into mod of x minus 2, because x minus 2 by d of x comma y comma 2 comma 1 is already established that it is less than 1. So you are getting this particular calculation as mod of x minus 2, and since mod of x minus 2 tends to 0 when x comma y tends to 2 comma 1, the result follows by using this squeeze theorem. Clear? Now we are having the similar diagram what we have received in the part of linearization delivery. There are some properties that we can consider for our study. The graph of f is locally linear, locally like the plane z equal to f of ab plus a into x minus a plus b into y minus b. We actually call it the tangent plane of the graph z f x y at the point a b f of a. The number a measures how fast z f x y changes the x changes from a if we fix the value of y to be b, and obviously vice versa, the number b measures how fast z is equal to fxy changes as y changes from b if we fix the value of x. Now if we fix the value of x and we measure y, or if we fix the value y we measure x, what is that? That is nothing but the concept of partial derivative. So thus a and b are the equal to the partial derivatives of z of f of xy with respect to x and y. Here respectively at the point we can get this expression as f del f del x and del f del y, and you can measure that. Look at this, in case of del f del x, b is not changed but x is changed. Here also del f del y, the value of x is not changed but y is changed, y to b. Okay, so in this manner basically we can measure the differentiability of the function represented in the form of several variables. Now if the f is differentiable at ab, then we have a good linear approximation, and the linear approximation is stated in this form. But this is another approach, this is not the only approach, this is another approach. So whatever the process you feel comfortable for you, you please go through this. Now we are proceeding for another example. Find the equation of the tangent plane to the graph of f of xy is equal to x square y cube, and it is a point is also given, it is 1, 2 and 3. If it is 1 and 2, obviously it will be 8, because 1 square into 2 cube is 8. Assuming the differentiability we have, f of 1 2 is 8. So del f del x we have to calculate, because we have created the relationship of a and del f del x and capital B and del f del y. So del f del x from this part will be 2xy cube, and at the point 1 2 it will be 16. The value of a is now generated. Now del f del y, for this one it will be x square into 3y square, and at the point 1 2 it will be 2. Now look at the beauty of the linearization process, because you are having a surface and you are taking a point and you are finding out that plane. This is your plane, which is nothing but the tangent plane what we are talking about. I am very sorry to say that obviously the thing should be drawn in some different manner, but you know that by computer graphics how we can represent it 3D in 2D visualization. It is not possible for us to draw in such a short span, but I just try to make you able to visualize this thing, that we are linearizing means we are making this is a tangent plane, and for that z is equal to f of 1 2 plus del f del x at 1 to x minus 1 and del f del y at 1 to x minus 2. Now del f del x at 1 comma 2 is calculated, del f del y at 1 comma 2 is calculated, and we get that z is equal to 8 plus 16 into x minus 1 plus 12 into y minus 2 is nothing but the equation of tangent plane. And now you can just make it simplified if you want, that 16x plus 12y, now minus 16 minus 12, so it will be 28 plus 8, so it is simply minus 20. So you can get the equation of the tangent plane in this form. Now there are some theorems and remarks for our better understanding. That is, if we take z is equal to f of xy, if is differentiable at ab, and then it is already discussed. However, the converse is not true. Yes, converse is not true because continuity does not imply differentiability. We do have the same thing in single variable also. So if f is differentiable at ab, then partial derivative also exists at ab, but the converse is also not true. Existence of partial derivative never implies the differentiability of the function of several variables. In fact, things are worse because existence of partial derivative does not even guarantee continuity also. We do have some problems related to that one. In the due course it will be discussed. So look at the example of the next problem, that if we are having fxy is equal to 1 at x equal to 0 and y equal to 0, fxy equal to 0 at all other points, okay, then f is not continuous at 0 0, but look at this del f del x del f del y exists. So what is the motto of this example is to establish the claim of the last slide, that existence of partial derivative not even guarantees the continuity, and the function fx is equal to x square y cube is everywhere differentiable. The last problem, since del f del x 2xy cube and del f del y 3xy square are everywhere continuous. Clear? Proceeding further, we'll get some examples and exercises. We are considering this graph 1 2 3 4. Which of these functions do you think differentiable at 0 0? So look at the smoothness and you will be able to decide. And obviously after decision, you please test your decision by the mathematical tools, the techniques. And then we have to verify the function fxy. This one is differentiable at 1 3 by showing the linear function and satisfies the condition, this one. Now the question is that what we get, what is the exact error of our approximation? Sometimes we have to measure this one, and this is important from engineering point of view. Now we are before concluding this lecture, we are going to give you one idea on a term called total derivative. Okay, if f of xy be a function of two variables, then the total derivative we are denoting as df. It is the notation. What is the expression of df? It is fx dx plus fy dy. You can recall the class of partial derivative where I have used this alone to you, that be cautious in using del and d, because you will see that in some coming problems, coming classes, you will have to use both of them. And this is the thing where we have to use del f, del and d both in the context of total derivative, and it is nothing but del f del x dx plus del f del y dy. If it is a function of two variables, if it is a function of three variables, it will be extended in a similar symmetric manner. But one more information, that if we have x is represented in its parametric form xt and y is represented in its parametric form yt, then also we can denote it as df dt as del f del x dx dt plus del f del y dy dt. Okay, so if we have to do some example on this discussion, suppose we have a problem where fxy is equal to minus 4x plus 3y. So it is a function of several variables x and y, but it is also given that x is equal to 80 square and y is equal to 280. Okay, 80 square to 80 is a very simple parametric form, known parametric form. So if we have to find out the total derivative of fxy with respect to t, then we can use this formula, that is df dt is equal to del f del x del dx dt plus del f del y dy dt. So you can write it as del f del x from this part is minus 4 and it will be contributing 0, and dx dt from this part it will be 280, so it will be 2at plus del f del y from this part it will be giving you 3 because this contribution is 0, as x will be treated as a constant, into dy dt from this part will be as 2a. So simplifying, we can write it as minus 880 plus 6a. Okay, because dx dt here as 280 by differentiation, single variable differentiation with respect to t. Similarly for dy dt is equal to 2a. Applying them, actually we get this one, and obviously applying the concept of partial derivative of f with respect to x and y separately. Okay, so if this is not in the parametric form, just we want to use this one, then also we can write that df is equal to fx. Fx is minus 4, so it is minus 4 dx plus fy is 3, it is 3 dy. So this also can be the expression of total differential or total derivative of f with the help of partial derivative of x and f, partial derivative of f with respect to x and y. So I think we can conclude the class over here because the required discussions are made, and these are the assignments for you for definition of differential part of these several variable functions, and these are the references we have used for preparing this lecture. You can go through this also, it will be very interesting and helpful. And finally, I want to thank you all for your patience. Happy listening, happy learning.